Alrighty, I would assume I am live in that case. So, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I see the hand cam is a bit squished, but I hope you don't mind too much. It should be fine after all. So, alrighty. If anyone does not know Goof Troop, the big guy is Goofy, the little guy is Max, and it's a really awesome adventure game. If you have never played this, grab a buddy and just play this together with a buddy, because this is kind of intended to be played with a friend of yours. If you don't have one, well, then you do what I do, just play one player 2 controller. To be more specific, this is actually kind of a bit of a gimmick category, rather than anything terribly serious. However, it's a lot of fun and it's actually really challenging. So, alrighty. Let's get this started, because we might as well want to start. Okay. Player 1 is going to be this controller here, that is going to be Goofy, this controller here is going to be Max. So I'm going to be controlling both at the same time. In a lot of cases you will see me just kind of focusing on one or the other characters. Sometimes I try to do both. Let's go. So alrighty. First of all, this is mostly a puzzle game, kind of top-down perspective. A lot of people kind of are reminded a bit of Zelda: Link to the Past. So what you can do is you pick up items, and you can have one item per character unless the secondary character is no longer around, as in dead. Which means, in this case, I'm going to pick up the second item with Max. This is a plank in order to build a bridge. And the hookshot that Goofy picked up is actually quite handy to stun enemies or build bridges or stuff like that. So, in order to defeat enemies and open gates, you have to defeat enemies, and what we do here is we can either shoot barrels at them or push them into the water, like this. So what I'm going to be doing here in the next screen is just kind of leave Goofy most of the time just standing around and run through with Max. Max is faster, Goofy is stronger. That is mostly relevant in terms of strength for specific enemies. Actually, most of the enemies that you're defeating, Max will take exactly 2 hits instead of just 1, which Goofy will take. So I will be taking advantage of Goofy being stronger, whereas Max being faster is just really convenient to run through areas. So also, I want to have Goofy die here once. That is actually intentional. So, it's a bit difficult since I have to use the secondary controllers buttons, which are basically below my left hand. So, here I grab the plant pot with Goofy and then Max can just run through. In a lot of cases I make a bit of a compromise between it being really fast and efficient compared to it being just more reasonable to do with me playing both characters at the same time. Like, the pure co-op run is a lot faster and a lot more efficient. However, I try to optimize it in a way where I don't have to worry too much about the secondary controller until it is actually necessary. So in this case, this puzzle here went actually pretty smooth. And also, I would like to point out that the first world, or well, this first stage, is actually one of the more difficult ones to do well in, since it is kind of set up as a tutorial area and thus has a lot of, well, weird corners that you don't necessarily have in other levels. So, either way, we have the first boss here. It's basically just whack-a-mole. It doesn't matter whether I have Goofy or Max as the lead. Each one of them will do approximately the same damage, because they just kill one of those guys each. I can pass objects between the two characters, and I try to hit them whenever they get into range. That was unfortunate. And those enemies here control you quite a bit until they throw barrels and until they are actually hittable. It can be pretty difficult. So that was stage 1. And we beat just stage 1, which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, Goofy happened to die completely, which is not quite intended, so I have to revive him and kill him off again. You'll see what that has for a reason. So, this puzzle here is pretty straightforward. And here, once again, I just deliberately run into this thing with Goofy, so I can kill him off again, so he has 0 lives right now. Alrighty. What I'm doing here is I just run through with Max and try to clear the path with Goofy here on the other side a little bit. And with Max you can see now in the top right, he has a heart, which means I can take 1 damage from an enemy. It doesn't matter how many hearts you always have exactly 1 hit, all the hearts disappear. And thus I'm a little bit safer with Max as long as he has at least 1 heart. So as you can see, Max takes 2 hits to kill that green guy, and the reason why I killed off Goofy, also I grab a safety continue here. The reason why I grab Goofy is Let's try this again. The reason why I killed Goofy is because I wanted to pick up both the hookshot and the key. And if I had to grab the hookshot and the key and then run back home with the other character, that would have taken a pretty lengthy amount of time. So what I did instead is I killed off Goofy, picked up both items with one character while Goofy was no longer around, and then just revived Goofy as soon as I picked up both characters, which means the item actually gets split up to, well, being handled by Goofy. Here I'm going to open this door, run outside, and that means it sets the spawn point for Goofy as soon as I press start, and he will be spawning at the top. So, spawn Goofy, he takes the hookshot, and here this is one of the more difficult puzzles to handle, both single player and multiplayer, because those guys can just be, no, really mean. They just messed up the puzzle, so I had to reset. That's pretty unfortunate. So the idea is I need to be just a bit on the fly here in order for me to, well, really get anywhere. So this looks pretty good. They are just kind of idling around in the top left corner, and I'm fine with this. Here I tried to get to the exit with both characters. Unfortunately, one of the cannons happened to get a pretty rare shot. So in this case, I open up the gate with Max, and we continue here. Also, Max has no extra hearts, which means if he dies, he just flies off the screen and will respawn at the entrance, which is less than ideal right now, but it's okay. After this, now we go into the next screen, and Goofy is going to explore the depths a little bit more. I build a bridge with a hookshot, and then I pick up the second item with Max, revive Goofy, he runs outside, and he runs back into the abyss. Sorry, Goofy. Essentially, I'm just using Goofy as a quick way to exit the screen. Pick up the safety health here, because why not, might as well. So, cherries gives you 1 heart, bananas give you 2 hearts. If you collect a total of 7 hearts, you gain an extra life, but usually it's better to just straight up have extra hearts instead, because that allows you to get hit once more. Here I throw away the initial few barrels, because this will allow me to spawn those guys on the side here, throwing barrels at me a bit more quick. So what I'm doing here is, whoopsie, not hopefully die with Goofy. I'm positioning Max in a corner where he does not get hit by a firebug. Unfortunately, there's actually no way for me to survive this with Max right here, unless I just walk around the area here. This still works. So I switched up controllers because Goofy does more damage, and I just want to have my main controller as Goofy, and I'm back to now with having the main controller as Max. So, this castle here is pretty interesting. Kind of like in the previous section, I'm going to kill off Goofy quite a few times in order to save a fair bit of time. So, those switches here can be hit with the pots if you throw them at good times. And bye bye Goofy, thank you for your services. So we go into the next area. The dark areas, there are candles hidden around if you want to see a bit more, but if you know the path, it's not too bad. So, alrighty, here we go. Let's see whether I can sneak through those guys. Okay, that worked. You can stun enemies and run through them, but it's actually sometimes a bit tricky, especially in that area. But it's not too bad. So the reason why Goofy had to die is because of this thing here. I need to pick up the plank with Max, and, well, Max is just straight up faster. Here I revive Goofy briefly to kill this cannon, because, well, Goofy only needs 4 hits to kill the cannon, Max would need 5. So that's more efficient. Cannons don't shoot in a regular interval. So, here, I pick up a pot with Goofy, and then, well, I kill him off again. Reason, once again, is to pick up 2 items with Max. And also, in the upcoming area, Goofy is no good with keys. You want to have all the keys on Max, since he is quicker to run to the exits and open up the doors and go through. So that's what we do here too. Open up that door, get the key on the right side, and open up this door. So, alrighty, then we revive Goofy for this little puzzle here. And this spells O-P-E-N. Pick up the key with Goofy since he has an empty item slot that I kill him once. And here it works actually just nicely that Goofy steps on the switches and runs into a suit of armor. Flying away again. Thank you, Goofy. That was very nice. Thank you very much for killing that guy. That makes this area a lot easier. So here, this is actually the one death warp that I take with Max in the next screen here. So what I'm doing here is I open this gate, drop down, and then I build a hookshot bridge here, pick up the key, let Goofy walk outside, pick up the hookshot that is still lying here, And then I need to have Goofy help out Max to run through those guys, so I can just skip past. Since Max has at this point no lives to damage boost through enemies, I needed to actually help out Max with Goofy. So, build another hookshot bridge here, and the main reason I kill off Goofy in this screen is just because it's way easier for me to navigate, and there is no downside to me just having him revive in the next area instead. So, that's what I do. And I revive Goofy. In the next area we kill 2 cannons in order to go to the next screen. Optimally, if Max's cannon shoots slower than Goofy's, I would be passing over the cannonballs from Goofy to Max. But in this case, it was quite fine. Max cannon shot faster, which is what you actually want. Pick up the golden key, see whether we get a heart. Nope, we don't, and we move on. So, alrighty, we are already at the 3rd boss. Also, I completely forgot to split, who cares? So, alrighty, I position Max so the red guy will always shoot at him and never hit him. And I hope the blue guy doesn't hit him. The blue guy is actually really irritating to deal with. So, I try to kill him off a bit earlier. I try to pick up items with Max. And also basically hang on to that item. And pass it over to Goofy. That way it's a bit faster for me to deal with the blue guy. So, blue guy should be almost dead. I hope he doesn't shoot too bad. Give me that. Thank you. So, alrighty. That was, I think, 4 hits on the red guy. I want him to shoot new projectiles before I hit him once again. Come on, buddy. Oh, that was not the intention. Sorry, Goofy. So, the thing is, after they take 5 hits, they can lift up their heads up to 2 times in a row, and then they have to change actions. So, this means that was 8, 9... Oh, that was already 10, never mind. And so we switch back the controllers. There we go. And we are already in this stage here. So this stage is a gigantic cave. I really like the music. And this is also one of the places where I do want an extra heart with Max, absolutely, and I got one, which is nice. So, open up the passage with Goofy, just kill that guy for no good reason, and then we damage boost through those. Here, I pass over the barrel to Max, that way I can more easily just run through. That screen with the frogs there is the reason why I want to have an extra heart, and I got another one. Excellent, because there's going to be another screen like that. Here, we just moved with both characters at approximately a similar pattern. And we just run through the room. Pretty easy. Here we kill this guy with... Oopsie. We tried to kill this guy with Goofy. At least that's the idea. That was not quite how I planned that, but it works. So, once again, here... I tried to hit the frog with Goofy directly instead this time, but that was a bit out of the way. Still works here. So we solved this puzzle with Goofy. Moving over here, and there we go. So this room used to be... Goofy is just mostly standing around, but yesterday I came up with another strategy that was kind of reasonable. So I positioned Goofy over there, mostly focus on Max. Have Goofy kick that block down, Goofy kick the block to the left, Max kick that block to the left, and then I completely messed that one up. Good job. Let's try this again. Alrighty. Position Goofy over there. Thankfully you can easily reset those puzzles without any trouble. Position Goofy over there, have him shoot this thing over there, this thing over there, this thing over there. Here we go, and Goofy now goes up there, and I kind of messed up with Max, but that's okay. So, let's try this again. So, this is one of the 3 stages where I don't want to kill Goofy, because it's actually more beneficial for me for him to be alive the entire time. So I like this screen a lot, because I can just move Goofy in a specific pattern and then hit him at the end. Because why not? Sorry, Goofy. So, alrighty. And there we go. So this is one of the few screens where Goofy is actually straight up faster in going through here. Also, thanks to both of them having a heart, I just maneuver Goofy over there to the exit, and I didn't even get hit. That's pretty nice. This dark room is kind of tricky to do, but not too difficult, because I have plenty of time to set up Goofy to be in correct position, while Max just does his own thing, essentially. take out this thing, and here we have one of the most random general rooms in the regular areas. Worked out pretty fine so far. I just need to get this guy here to move into position, and there we go. Nice, that worked fine. So, alrighty. This room here, I kind of seem to do that room here pretty much different every single time I run this game. I'm not entirely sure what my original strategy was, but this works quite fine. So, alrighty, and here the next room is one of the big advantages of being able to play this game with co-op, or well, with yourself for that matter. Oopsie. Goofy kills all of those guys in one barrel shot. So Goofy has a huge advantage over a single max run in this area, but on top of that there is actually something else that is noteworthy. From the areas down there you can actually not hit the enemies unless they are in the far top left or top right corners, which is kind of rare for them to be in. So you do gain a lot of time in that previous room. So here we have the... I call them caterpillars. They have a specific name. I think they are called rumblers. Either way, you can hit them once per cycle. So that's what I tried to do. And this is also one of the big advantages of playing this with two characters. Whether co-op or yourself, as long as you execute properly, you actually save about 40 seconds. Just being able to do this second phase where both of the caterpillars spawn flawlessly. However, that is actually kind of difficult, so let's try to not mess it up too much. Also at the end here, I want to have Goofy at 0 lives. Let's see whether we can organize that too. Oh, I missed with Goofy. Hitting stuff with Goofy that is coming from the top right is kind of tricky, although from the bottom right towards the top is way more difficult. And I should not mess up this one. There we go. Also, just as a little notice, the stalactites from the ceiling, they spawn earlier at the bottom than they do at the top, so I move Goofy out of the way first, and then I move Max out of the way, generally speaking. Well then, hit this with Max, and I messed up again. Either way, this is going to be the last hit if I don't mess up. So, bring Goofy to 0 lives. Sorry, good sir. And there we go. Stage clear. Alrighty, and this is the last stage already. It's actually a pretty big one and also kind of puzzling. Pretty difficult overall as well. What I do here is I just pass the barrel to Goofy, try to hit this guy because I want to keep the hearts on max. And in this room, this is the entire reason as to why I even had Goofy at 0 hearts. So, I position Goofy here. Kill him off. Bye, Goofy. And in the meantime, already run to the exit of Max. The co-op run is actually a lot more funny because Max literally throws the bomb that kills Goofy in order to get the hookshot over there a bit quicker. So, well, it works. And, well, unfortunately, Goofy just kind of got sniped by that green guy's projectile, which is a bit unfortunate, but hey, you have enough lives. You actually spawn with 2 lives every time you... Oh, come on, blue guy. Red guy. You spawn with 2 lives every time you press start after you switch screens. I do not want to... Now we can run past that guy. I pick up the bell with Goofy. What the bell does is it rings the bell and, well, the enemies just keep walking over here. And that was actually really good. Aside from having to reset the room, killing those guys in that room with the cannons is pretty difficult actually. So now with an upside down controller we can shoot... We tried to shoot those guys without having Goofy die yet. He can die later. Well, let's try this again. Come on. You can shoot the green guys almost all the time across the stage, but the red guy, he's usually a bit too far away unless he gets very close to the left side. And here we go. Oopsie, that was not intended. Sorry, Max. Also, Goofy likes to ring the bell. So, once again, here you can clearly see I've simplified a lot of strategies from the co-op run, but I'm still usually faster than a single player run. For example, here, ordinarily you would position one character to catch the barrel from the other guy hooking the barrel in order to throw them onto the switches. But, well, that's not quite reasonable with one player, two controller. Ring the bell, because why not? So, Goofy goes over there, and here we go. Open up the passage with Goofy, try to not maneuver too poorly, and there we go. Who likes bells? I do like bells. And thank you, Goofy. Once again, Goofy just kind of looks in the ship's darkness for more treasure or whatever he does down there. And I'm going to go over here with Max in order to just do this room a little bit quicker than ordinarily I would do with Goofy being alive. Since Goofy had the bell, I want to replace the bell with a hookshot over there. And then revive Goofy in order to just go outside that room. That's all he does actually. As you can see, Goofy right now has a silver key. Goofy is no good with keys, so he just goes to explore the depths a bit more. So I have this guy, just like a bit careful there. And here we revive Goofy just to smash a rock into his face. I'm sorry, Goofy. I really am. But that actually opens up the passage just a little bit faster than you would normally have the passage opened up. And here we go. So, I position Goofy in the top right of this platform. The bottom middle actually always has at least one arrow that is positive, which means up or right. Which one it is, I don't know. But let's see whether we can get it. There we go. That works too. So, and then we just run through here. I pick up a barrel with Goofy here. Throw it over with Max, because Max is walking faster. Goofy can actually throw slightly further than Max. And that's what he do. Pick up a second hookshot, and that's the entire reason why Goofy looks through the abyss again. So, alrighty. Here we need 2 hookshots in order to cross this gap. Also, it's surprisingly easy to die in those areas. So, revive Goofy, and here's my favorite screen of the entire game. Because it actually is so fluid, if you just do it right. He says and messes it up. Let's try this again, just for show. Kick, 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 kick. And there we go. Alrighty, that works too. Bit unfortunate that I messed it up the 3rd time, but I don't think it actually has much to do with fortune. It's pretty much all execution, really. So, as usual, Max kind of makes sure that the wall doesn't go away and stands in the corner, while Goofy tries to do more damage to the boss. So, I deliberately get hit by those hookshots. That's faster getting hit and then wiggling free than it would be for me to try and hit him there. 1, 2... So, alrighty, this is fine. Max should be able to pick this up and throw this over to him. And unfortunately he decided to immediately go there. That's okay. 3, 4... I have no clue. I lost count. Either way, when he jumps up there, he always is going to shoot. If he jumps on the top right, he either shoots or he will call his companions. You never want him to call his companions, because that wastes a lot of time. I've messed that up. You should be able to predict his pattern based on how he's moving, which I kind of messed up, but that's okay. Let's go. Thank you. Alrighty, I tried to pass over the cannonball or the bomb over there to Max in order for me to hit him there on the podium, but didn't quite work out the way I hoped it would. I don't know how many hits the boss has left, so let's see. Normally I try to kill off the little guys at the bottom. Well, he does that for me, I guess. In order for him to come to the bottom and give us more bombs, well, at least have a chance at giving us more bombs. But I think he was pretty close to death there. Yep, there it is. And we win. And that's that. Goof Troop, 1 player, 2 controller completed. Alrighty, that was a nice little game. I actually really like this one. Once again, if you've never played it, The puzzles are actually quite tricky and puzzling, especially if you play the Japanese version, which has even higher difficulties compared to just the one difficulty you have on the US version. And well, I think we are kind of a bit tight on schedule, so I'm going to be going over ahead and just mostly skip the credits. I really like the credits, they have really good music, but might as well try to catch up just a little bit. Alrighty, and ladies and gentlemen, for Secret of Mana, which is going to be coming up, I do have actually someone co-commentating. Let me switch games and also switch something up real quick, so I'm not messing up stuff too much. And there we go. Oh, that's a bit tricky.
Yeah, so next up we'll be having yet another absolutely insane run from Yagamoth. He's also going to do Secret of Mana as a two controllers, one player run. Almost messed it up myself there. So yeah, let's give it up for Yagamoth one more time for Secret of Mana.